Hello. I am gonna warn you that the roosters are having a conversation right now. It's especially vocal, but the construction has paused for a minute. So in the soundtrack of my life right now, I'm going with the roosters. And that is also because it's relevant. So if you remember my video on rooster symbolism, it is about expressing truth. It is about sharing your expression and leading with that. So being confident to share your voice. And that's what I want to talk about today is voice. And I started this course, 6 classes all on voice and expression and activating your voice. And today was the first day, and it included so much movement, so much voice speaking with our bodies and becoming comfortable in our bodies. And so it reminded me of an experience in the past that's a powerful story I'd like to share. And just to see how far I've come with really integrating my mental, intellectual, physical, emotional, spiritual bodies into one, into wholeness. And so this story goes back probably a decade. It was a while ago. I was in management consulting, and one of my colleagues, her partner taught improv comedy. And so a few of us that were in management consulting as our career decided to go to this improv workshop, this improv comedy workshop. And I was a little nervous, but open and excited too, ready to play. I like play. And we started easy. You know, everyone else in the class was either a comedian or an actor or some sort of performance artist. And then there was the 3 of us consultants. And so we start the class and we're going through the exercises, and I'm feeling like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And it's okay to screw up, and it's okay to have fun, and I can do this. Well, we got to this exercise that involved more movement with our bodies. And so there would be a scene being played out, and then you would have to take your turn to say freeze, stop the scene, tap somebody. They would exit the scene, you would enter in the exact position that they had been in, and then you would start a new story. And so we had been going along for a while, and it was my turn, and it was so hard to get myself to go. And then I finally did. I tapped the person, and I remember specifically the position they were in had something to do with this. You know, they were pointing at something. And so I'm standing there taking their place, and I'm supposed to start a new scene now. And I froze. I couldn't move. I could feel my face getting red. I could feel tears coming, and I'm thinking, this is just a improv class. Like, just say something, do something. Like, it was like I had Buddha mind, just what you imagine meditation to be, just, total blank slate. And I couldn't move. And then finally, eventually, words came out of my mouth, when I pushed this button. And I didn't know how the sentence ended. And then somebody jumped in and, saved me. Somebody jumped in and helped me out and continued the scene. And so there's many layers of stuff going on in this story. Afterwards, one of the teachers was talking with me and said, what do you do for work? And, I said, well, I'm sitting at a desk and a computer. I'm in meetings, but, I'm in my head. I have an intellectual type job. And she said, yeah, that's it. You're not used to being like in your body. You're not used to embodiment. And so you can think about things, but then when you have to, be comfortable, just like moving your body, taking up space, it's difficult. And that really resonated. And the other interesting thing is that, I went into survival. So you have like fight or flight, and then freeze is another one. And that is one of the stories in my life where I learned that freeze is more likely going to be my reaction response, my survival response. And that's a whole different topic. But so that's what had happened to me. I froze. I, felt a lot of embarrassment, a lot of pressure, and eventually got through it, and in the process learned how important embodiment is and what a piece of it is, a piece of wholeness, And so today I'm in this voice class, and we did as much movement as we did sound making. And I realized how comfortable I felt, or just how willing to try I felt moving my body in different ways, either mirroring others, which was the exercise at times, or leading the mirroring, or the dance, or the movement, or the rhythm. And so we played with rhythm, we played with embodiment, we played with tones. So much happened in a short time. People shared their stories, and I realized as I was sharing mine, beforehand and after, just how much of my journey has been about navigating expression, navigating true expression. So when I was younger, I would talk and talk at home, but in public, I was silent, to the point where my teachers would call my parents and say, "Is she okay?" So over time, I've learned what that's about, like how to navigate when I feel safe or when I don't feel safe to express, to understand that I have fears around being judged for my expression. And then ultimately, as I'm working through this, also understanding that at some point, my work was to, yes, understand, what's happening and why, but to feel it, to heal it, and then to heal it, by doing it and by overcoming it and by embodying my truth. Maybe somebody's judging this video right now, and that's okay. They're allowed to have that judgment. Their thoughts about me are not my business. My thoughts about me, that's my business. Another theme, just to give one more layer to this, is that, in a previous video I shared that I was going through some health challenges, and one of them is that my body has a parasite. And again, everything is connected. So I could sit there and say, oh, okay, that is terrible. How did that happen? Or how do I get rid of it? And that's fine. But there's also the opportunity to say, okay, what does that mean? Or what are the conditions or circumstances that allowed that? And then what is the invitation moving forward? And so for me, as I felt into that, I could see how a part of my curriculum, I think, whatever's showing up in our life as a theme is just our current curriculum. It's not to blame or shame ourselves. I plan on learning and growing forever. But so part of my curriculum right now has been to realize that I have, where I have been scared to or held back on taking up space, where I have excused my presence, apologized for my presence, or been, nervous or vulnerable in occupying my whole self, my whole space, which for me includes expression. It includes teaching, writing, guiding, facilitating. It makes sense that the thing that in the past was a wound or a challenge for me has now become the gift, the opportunity, the invitation forward. And that's typically how it works, because then we can share from our personal experience, from having been through it. So the more I am talking and sharing and using my voice, and either feeling very comfortable with that or overcoming edges with that, the more I let go of, the me that didn't feel it was safe to do that. So sometimes I feel very safe about it now. Other times I feel that it is something, the invitation is for courage. Find the thing, find the invitation, the opportunity that's inviting something forward. So there's a lot going on. We're talking embodiment. We're talking telling the truth with your words, with your body language, with your action, with the sounds that come out of your mouth. We're talking about telling the truth with what you consume, even, so what sounds, vibrations, frequency, information are you taking in various ways. We're talking about courage to just show up and try. We're talking about taking up your own space, and that really looks like living your purpose and not needing permission to do it, but doing it because it's what you have to do, what you're here to do. And we're all here to do that, I believe, to be the fullest expression of ourselves. And so in my programs, whether I'm working with you one-on-one or in a group scenario, this is some of the territory that we cover, is exploring the different subtle bodies, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, the bliss body, exploring the different bodies and exploring what it means to integrate it all. Like, it's wonderful if you can read and feel or see, energy, and that's so important. That's one part of it, but to also understand the beliefs or the physicality of your physiology and what that's like allowing in, or what that's expressing forward. It's all connected. And so we can deep dive into different parts of it and then come back and integrate it into the whole. Deep dive, integrate, go through all the layers, integrate. And so today was an opportunity to for me to see how far I've come since I was in the improv shop going, when I push this button, and how huge that felt to, now here I am jumping and leaping and, moving my hips and making sounds all around the room in this dance workshop, and then coming here and sharing it with you. So if any of this is interesting to you, you want to talk further about how we can work together, then send me a message and I would love to do that.